Assalamu alaikum, welcome to YouTube channel Animal Life. Today we shall discuss about the Shizugoni class. Phylum Microspora. Members of the Phylum Microspora, commonly called the Microsporodia, are small, obligatory intracellular parasite. Including in this phylum are the several species that parasitize beneficial insects. Nosemia bombicus parasitizes silkworms, causing the disease pebrina, which is very harmful disease of the Australian people. Now we have the phylum Acetospora. Acetospora, relatively called the small phylum, that consists exclusively of obligatory intercellular parasites characterized by the spores lacking polar caps or the polar filaments. Now here we have the phylum Microspora and phylum Acetospora. Phylum Microspora, commonly called the Microsporian, are called the obligatory extracellular parasites in freshwater and marine fish. They have a resistant spore with 1 to 6 coiled polar filaments. The most canonically important Microsporian is Microspora cerebrale, which infects the nervous system and auditory organs of the trout and salmon fishes, causing the whirling or tumbling diseases. Now we shall discuss about the phylum Acetospora. The phylum Acetospora includes some of the most complex protozoa. Ciliates are widely distributed in freshwater and marine environment. A few ciliates are symbiotic. Characteristics of the phylum Acetospora are discussed as below. Cilia for locomotion and for the generation of feeding the currents in the water. Relatively rigid pellicle and more or less fixed shape. Distinct cytosomes, mouth structure, dimorphic nuclei, typically a large micronucleus and one or more smaller micronuclei for the conjugation, helps in the sexual reproduction. Now here we have the cilia and other pellicle structures which are involved in digestion and the movement. Basal bodies of the adjacent cilia are interconnected with an elaborate network of fibers that are believed to anchor the cilia. Here we have the trichocysts or the pellicle structures primarily used for the protection. They are rod-like or oval organelles oriented perpendicular to the plasma membrane. When we talk about the nutrition, some ciliates such as paramecium have a ciliated oral groove along one side of the body. Cilia of the oral groove sweep small food particles toward the cytopharynx where food particles formed. When the food vacuole reaches an upper size limit, it breaks free and circulates through the endoplasm. Here you can see the discharged trichocyst of the paramecium and on the right side sectorian Tocophyra species feeding. Now when we talk about the symbiotic ciliates, most ciliates are free-living, however some are communalistic or mutualistic, and a few are parasitic. Balantidium coli is an important parasite ciliates that live in the large intestines of humans, pigs, and other mammals. At times it is a ciliary feeders, at other time it produces the proteolytic enzymes that digest the host epithelium, causing a flash-shaped ulcer. E. coli pass from one host to another insist that forms species begin to dehydrate in the large intestine. Here you can see the planaria, which is divided into the nucleus and then it is separated out from the parental cell. A two-daughter nuclei is formed as a result of the budding. It is the conjugation in the paramecium. When we talk about the wildlife alert, we have the vital statistic like classification of the phylum Arthropoda, subphylum Crustacea, class Microspora, order Decapoda, phylum Atidea. Now we have the natural history and ecological status. The category cave shrimp is a small freshwater crustacean. The species characterized by the rudimentary eye stalk lacking fates at the pigmentation. Its closest relative is the Alabama cave shrimp, which is also an endangered species. Now we have a summary here. The kingdom Protista is a polyphyletic group that arose about 1.5 billion years ago from the archaea. The evolutionary paths leading to the modern protozoa are unstrained. Protozoa are both singular cell or entire organism. Many protozoa live in the symbiotic relationship with the organisms. Members of phylum Sarcomastigophora possess the pseudopodia or more flagella. Members of the class Plastigomoraphora photosynthesis include in the genera Euglena and Volvox. Here you have the critical thinking questions that you have to solve and you like to solve it. I have to end my lecture here. If you like the video, kindly subscribe and share. Stay tuned with us and wait for our next video. I'll stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.